this test came to me at this point in my life for a reason. I'm not going to just get it fixed. I'm going to use this test to strengthen myself as an investor, because I know my money needs to keep compounding. I've been at this dividend game for over 20 years, but I've got a long way to go. Hey everyone, this is Ian and I'm back with another video about dividend growth investing. Today's video is an interesting one because it addresses a topic that I am experiencing in my own life right now, and that is the topic of delayed gratification. If you've been following the financial markets for a while, and if you've been researching how one can accumulate a lot of money through investing, and in particular dividend growth investing, you've probably realized that it's all about getting money to work. It's about avoiding large expenses. It's about controlling one's budget. And it's about watching the money compound over time so that one day it can pay a massive amount of dividend income that can pay for one's living expenses. So this concept of delayed gratification basically means that if there's a luxury or there's a certain item that I want right now, is there a way I can push that out into the future? Is there a way I can push it out until later so that I don't tie up precious capital right now that could otherwise be used in the stock market to build my dividend growth portfolio or one's dividend growth portfolio? Instead, could I delay that gratification? Can I delay that expense? And so I am facing one of these challenges right now. Basically, I have a fireplace in my home, and this is one of those zero clearance inserts that goes in the wall itself. It's a really nice fireplace. It's surrounded by stone. We really like it, and it stopped working. Basically, this is going to be an expensive proposition to fix this fireplace. It's probably going to cost somewhere between maybe $8,000 and $10,000, because not only do we have to get this unit out and get all the stones surrounding out, we have to get it back, we have to get it fixed, then the wall is going to have to be patched up. And living here in the San Francisco Bay Area, the cost of doing anything in one's home is very expensive. It costs orders of magnitude higher than what it might cost elsewhere, because all of the contractors charge more money because they can, because it's a more expensive cost of living, and so it just trickles down to everything. And so anyways, this is a really challenging situation, because theoretically I could get this thing fixed, but at the same time, should I really be doing that? And look, my intuition, being a perfectionist, being someone that cannot stand having something broken, cannot stand the fact that there's something that's less than perfect, it's not done right, it's broken, just bothers me. I'm a perfectionist. I strive for greatness, and I strive for greatness in everything I do, and one area of that is just having a house that's well maintained, having a house that's clean, that's pristine. And so if there's something broken, my human instinct is to dig into the wallet, go out there and fix it. And personally, what I am experiencing is a struggle on this topic, because I shouldn't be doing that. I should not be doing that. And it's not a good use of funds that otherwise could be used to build my dividend growth portfolio. And so today I want to talk about some of the logic that goes behind how I look at delayed gratification and how I personally am going to approach this situation, despite my tendency, despite my intuition just to get it fixed. That's not what's going to happen. I'm going to take my sweet time. I'm going to save up the money from scratch. Certainly not going to dig into stock portfolio or equities to pay for this. I'm going to start from scratch. And so I've got my notebook, as I always do, and I want to share a few points. First and foremost, I think one of the most challenging aspects of investing for dividends and cash flow is this concept of delayed gratification. It's a psychological challenge. No one wants to delay gratification. We want everything now. That's how we've been conditioned. That's how the media presents things to us on TV or in the press. And so we're kind of hardwired, at least I am, to to buy stuff now, and it just goes against the grain, this whole concept of delayed gratification. But the fact of the matter is, to be successful at dividend growth investing, one has to condition themselves, and so one has to be willing to delay these types of purchases until later. And personally, as these things come up, I look at them as tests. At least that's how I'm looking at it now. Is theoretically I could just go get it fixed, but you know what? This test came to me at this point in my life for a reason. I'm not going to just get it fixed. I'm going to use this test to strengthen myself as an investor, because I know my money needs to keep compounding. I've been at this dividend game for over 20 years, but I've got a long way to go before my dividend income pays for all of my living expenses. And to reach my goal, I have to stay focused. I have to keep plowing money into dividend stocks, and I have to be focused on prudent financial management. And so half the battle with all of that is the psychological aspect, the delayed gratification aspect, and viewing these things as they come up as tests and not falling for the trap of just getting them paid for or just paying the money, but actually using the test to strengthen oneself from a financial perspective, from a intuition perspective. So one thing that I have learned, I'm a commercial real estate developer, and that is my career by profession these days. I develop commercial real estate properties for cash flow. Aligns very well with my core purpose of being a dividend growth investor, something that I've been for over 20 years and that I'm obsessed with. And so what's interesting is when I model these properties in the commercial real estate space, we model them out for many years. And one line item that I always model is what's called capital expenditures, or CapEx. This is a line that basically each year banks reserves. It banks reserves over time for these big capital expenditures that come up. Personally, I believe that one should manage their household the same way. Each month when the paycheck comes in, there should be some percentage of that paycheck that is earmarked for capital expenditures. If one is a homeowner, have that capital expenditure bucket and have it grow over time. It just so happens that my capital expenditure bucket right now does not have sufficient funds. It's not very big to pay for this expenditure. And so what am I going to do? Am I going to dig in? Maybe I'm tempted to dig into some of my recent stock market gains. Maybe I'm tempted to, instead of reinvesting dividends, have some of my dividends not reinvest, take the dividends and pay for the fireplace. No way. What I'm going to do is up my capital expenditure allowance a little bit. I'm going to start building that bucket a little bit quicker, and I'm going to use my paycheck that's coming in each month, and I'm going to earmark those capital expenditures. When that bucket gets to the right size, there's enough funds in that bucket to fix the fireplace, that's when I'm going to fix it. That's the way to look at it. I need to look at the way I manage my household expenditures and capital expenditures just like the way I would commercial real estate. And I think that's a great philosophy because it keeps someone in the right mindset, a non-emotional mindset, a business-oriented mindset, and a mindset that will set up success in one's investment portfolio. Here's another point that I think is so important. All of us, myself included, we take a lot of pride in these material things, and that's good, you know, especially a house. Cars, for example. I take great care of my car. I care about having a nice car. That being said, if one looks at the real long term, I'm talking not only like 50 years, but maybe 100 years or more, generations in the future, there's certain things that will stand the test of time, that will grow and improve with the test of time. These things are world-class investment portfolios that can be passed on from generation to generation. These are raising one's family in the right way and investing in one's children, because those children are going to go on to do great things. They're going to have children who do great things, and so on and so forth. The cycle continues. I think doing good in society, for example, this holiday season and throughout the year, I'm always focused on charity. That's one of the reasons that I love investing so much, because I want a massive amount of cash flow so I can give back even more. As one does good in society, I believe there's a ripple effect, and the good The good creates waves of good that go on and spread out for generations. These are things that last forever. However, 50, 100 years out, several hundred years out, there are very few material objects that can stand the test of time, at least in their current form. Maybe a house can, but it's going to be remodeled, it's going to be rebuilt many times. And so the fact of the matter is we all get caught up in these things. But the way I like to frame it that always helps me, and this is actually a lesson I learned from my pastor in church years ago, and he was framing it more from the perspective of investing in one's spirituality, is there are certain things, I think spirituality is another, that one invests in, the byproduct of that lasts forever. And this is the great way, in my opinion, for me when I'm facing a challenge like, hey, should I just fix it now? No, because quite frankly, that's not the priority. Even if I fix the fireplace, spend all this money, eventually it'll probably need to be replaced again and again and again. And so is that really leaving a legacy? Is that really investing in finances, in family, in spirituality, in helping others? No. And so that's the best way I like to look at these expenses as well, and why it's okay to delay the gratification, delay some of these things in focusing on what really matters in life. I hope today's video is helpful. Just a fun video about something I'm facing right now, and I'm sure many of you have faced or will face at some point, and it's philosophical, it's foundational in the practice of building a dividend portfolio, one that's going to be huge and one that's going to throw off a ton of income. This is a foundational premise. In fact, it may be one of the most important, if not the most important premise, is delaying gratification, investing on what really matters. Today's video is not investment advice. I'm not a licensed investment advisor. Today's video is just for your fun and entertainment. If you are going to go out and invest in the stock market or anywhere else, please do consult a licensed financial advisor first. My name is Ian Lopuck. I'm from ppcian.com. If you enjoyed the video today, I please invite you to subscribe, to like, to comment. It means the world to me. For people who have been here for a long time, I thank you for your patience. I recently purchased this ring light. It's going to help me film videos at night now. I'm not going to be constrained to filming when it's cold outside like today with the right lighting. I'm now going to be able to film around the clock. I'm investing in some other things as I promised all of you that I would, so I'm getting there slowly but surely. You'll see me taking advantage of this new equipment in some of the upcoming videos, so thank you for hanging in there, and thank you for your support. It means the world to me. I will see you in the next dividend investing video.